How's it going in there? Let's turn up the volume in here. I'm gonna do a little a little funny seeing people do mock Allah and other stuff like that. I'm going to make a mockery of the mosque and a joke right now. So as soon as as soon as Trump said the statement back when he said it a couple weeks ago, he said that Muslims should be cut out here. And then he said recently something closer to what I was trying to say was, I think you should know the best that you can before you just kick people out or whatever. If they say on their hand, down to America or kill Americans or you're dead American, you're dead now, little Obama boss over here, America. Then they need to be shot, killed, and thrown in the ocean for the fish. And that's about as gangster mafia as you'll get from me. You will not get a uh, down low right low down dirty lie from me or a cheating uh, swindling low cunning move from me either. About the most gangster mafia shit that you'll get from me is me slapping you silly or possibly killing you in some kind of military. If I was in the militia, a state militia, or the U.S. military, I would I would be doing it to kill you, not to be not to be your friend. And that's as gangster and mafioso as I get. Like I said, I don't like double crossing people or doing people wrong. I like being honest and having honest people around me. So here's your here's your skit. So the other day when Trump said, "Let's monitor mosques," because I could point out that the last several preachers that I went to see do their all their preaching on cassette tape, and not only can you get it on a cassette tape, but it's online, so you can hear the whole entire sermon long of what they say in church, in American Christian churches, like Pentecostal, like Assembly of God and stuff like that. They're not talking about dominating the world and taking it over. Um, People naturally have to take their own defense posture and don't really have to say, I guess, very much about protecting their own assets and country and people. So here's the mosque when Trump said it. This is my impression of the mosque. Oh, let's shred all the documents. We got to shred them all. We have to be quiet. Wait, wait a second. Did he say? Did he say do it now? He did say do it now. Oh, so we have time. So we have time to hide and cover our tracks. So right, we hate America and we're gonna take over America, and that's our trip. We're going to take it over. So that was my skit. I forgot to put that in the video yesterday. But the world is really confused. If you want Muslims to go ahead and speak whatever they want to speak in their language too, they don't have to translate it into English so we all can understand exactly what they're saying in my country. So here's the classic warfare here in America, more of it, and my uh, uh, opinion of what's going on and what I see. It's more than opinion. So my opinion develops on things and knowledges that are going around, not just to take a one side opinion to things. I want to know more about it so I can develop an opinion. If people don't have common sense enough to know what developing an opinion is, you need to go figure out what developing an opinion is, or just having an opinion, what that is. Because I don't think that you know, and I don't think you have the common sense to understand what a real opinion is. So here it is. So here's Obama cutting cutting funds out of the military. So What are they going to do? They're going to cut the military's benefits. They want to cut their commissary, their medical, and their pensions, right? So, basically everything that people have been working for in the military, the government here, the Democrats, are going to keep on coming out and lying to us and be like, oh, I can't believe that VA scandal. Oh, we've got this. No, we've got this. Oh, we're going to take care of this. Gay rights, everybody. It's gay rights. Did we say we were going to take care of the military? Yeah, you hang on a second. We'll take care of you, military. Hold on. And it's all about the classic warfare in America. The Democrats have always been making excuses. They have their people that vote for that crap sit there debating me on how unnecessary the military is. So you're going to tell me how unnecessary Cecil Field is? So we're going to cut Cecil Field. Obviously, the Navy needed to have a place where they could practice run and do drills and other stuff like that with a fleet of air of jets, Navy airmen. It was a Navy air base, for crying out loud. And the Democrats here in Florida could not could not stand to let it go by without closing that mother sucker, because it was so important that they closed that down. That the military just doesn't know what they're talking about. They're just doing all this stuff to blow money and stuff, just like everybody else. Now, I seen a way to go into the military and keep them from wasting money, but not being cut off of their benefits, their retirement, and their commissary, uh, medical, and stuff like that they worked for. So you got somebody who has been in the military for 30 years, right? 30 years. Let's say 30. They want to generally probably try to work 20 and then get out and get their retirement. But let's say it's somebody they really enjoyed it. So they were in there for 30 years. Then they come out just to have the Democrats come and lie to everybody's face, say that they have everything all under control, that they're gonna take care of it. They're gonna get to the bottom of it, and it doesn't have anything to do with them being hate mongers and hating America and hating America's servicemen and pretending like American servicemen are wrong. We get these debates all the time, like about Vietnam and stuff like that. So it started with Vietnam, the way that they started treating military veteran patients, as far as servicemen that needed medical care. Not the military, but when they come into civilian society life in the VA in different states, I would say the more progressive Democrat that you are, the more mistreated that the veterans have been for a long time. So you're talking about 30 plus years that they've been treating um, military personnel that needs medical care. They're in a bad condition. They've been treating them horribly. I mean, like terribly, torturing our servicemen. If people knew the half of the atrocities that go on in the VAs and the way some of the service people had been treated in there, white people would have flipped out and would have burnt America to the ground and would have straight knocked the black people that are trying to riot and destroy peace and trying to make a bunch of racist rhetoric all over the place. It wouldn't have been about race. It would have been about that the government just effed up on a level that there is no coming back for, but the people don't know that it's gone that far. That it's gone that far. And now we have them totally prepping and moving towards defunding the entire military, cut their commissary. There's a petition right now to go in. I can't go to it right now because I have to sign out of this, and I think it'll stop my video. But there's a petition out. Maybe you can find the link to it on military.com, I think. But the government is trying to close the military's commissary. The commissary that they have right now, they're going to defund that. So they're going to go ahead and give a couple more trillions, right, to the enemy, to our military's enemy. So instead of paying, this is what this boils down to. What I think is the stupidest thing, and is so stupid. Instead of paying our military to finish the job and to defeat the terrorists and to slap the Muslims around and the Arabs or whoever needs to be slapped around silly, and the people out here in the street rioting, not protesting, but rioting, need to be put in jail, maybe even have the key thrown away. But here's the thing, it's so ironic that this is what they're doing, and what they got at is they're defunding the military, and that now instead of paying the military to finish the job and to squash our enemies, which is truly out there, which Bush was right, and Obama only proves every day that all of their propaganda and everything is wrong, and it's obviously straight spewing lies from the enemy. That's Obama. Obama is spewing lies from the enemy. That's the Democrat Party. That's a classic warfare that they play on the country here. They dumb people down. They say the stupidest thing so that they get the stupidest reactions, and that's so that the people are not intelligent after they have a conversation with each other as Democrats. They walk away thinking that they solved something. They're literally more dumb than they were just a second ago after talking with each other. And politicians like Hillary and them and Bernie Sanders will only make you stupid, and then they want to give them free education. So now you're talking about people that didn't even work, so there's nothing even to accomplish or even try to do to earn your free education now, and what is that going to do to everybody having this free something now that's going to be meaningless and worthless? Either that, or it's going to ruin the colleges. It's going to do something just to straight blow up and conquer society like the Democrats want to do. They want to conquer our economy, but not in a good way. They want to do it opposed to us. So, and they do the same thing. They're doing the same thing right now with our military, and they have a committed effort between the whole entire Democrat Party. Their pledge is to ruin the U.S. military. For whatever reason, the U.S. military will have to be there to protect their butt, protect everybody else. But I also see whatever is what I see from Hillary and Obama and them is that they don't care if a couple of Americans get killed, as long as they have the security and the military and everything work out for their protection, then they're good. But they're going to weaken our military and suck the money and resources and everything right out of our own society, so that we're going to be like sort of sitting ducks all over the place in the world, and that's where they want to get to. It doesn't make any sense to me. Why are you committed to destroying the military? You're going to suck everything out of what those guys have worked for and have tried to do, and you're going to give it to their enemy. You're giving it to the enemy and the terrorists, is what you did, is what you're doing now. So, as far as I'm concerned, they've done Obama and Hillary, but Obama in particular, because he's the one that's sitting in the White House as president right now. He's done so much to destroy democracy and our rights and our freedom and has expressed so much hate towards the U.S. military, you will go and lie to anybody's face over anything like that. I think that he's the one that really needs to fess up and answer to it all. Even though part of the classic warfare is these people will not ever admit that they screwed up. And a lot of it might have to do with they're screwing up on purpose. So they have to truly believe in what they're screwing up and doing. Otherwise, maybe they might not be doing it as, wholeheartedly pledged to doing this thing. We're going to have, how wrong it is to take away from the military. I mean, their war effort, their commissary, their retirement benefits, or their medical, taken away from any of them. It's just, uh, it's just wrong. And they're going to come out here to get reelected or to win whatever, to become, stay a politician or remain president or whatever, with all the rest of the mounted bull that they've done. They're going to sit there and lie to you and say, no, we wouldn't do that. No, we wouldn't do that, right in your face, lying right to your face as they're doing it. So I just wanted to say thanks. Thanks a lot. Thanks for making it completely impossible for people to go out here and try to think. Try to think. Well, do you want, what if you wanted to go into an occupation or you wanted a career? Let's say you wanted a career move. Think about that for a bit. If I could let that resonate with people for a bit, and think about what you would want to do in society if you wanted a career or a job or something. What are you experienced in, and what's out there? What are you going to go after? Just it's just a thought. I'm trying to weigh in, trying to figure out all of this baloney because I can't get a job without a house. I can't get a house without a job. So basically, you need support from like your mom and dad or somebody. Somebody has to endorse you to be out there and have a job and have your own house, and you need to be responsible. So you need to learn a little bit about responsibility too. You can't have the world with a bunch of reckless, irresponsible people. But that's classic warfare. That's the Democrat Party. They're supposed to be professionals, and they certainly are. They certainly are a professional of some sort, but not a professional in our favor, and not the professionals that we expect them to be, or would hope that they would be. People on the right know what you're dealing with when you're dealing with a Democrat politician. You know, you look at like a guy like look at DeFazio in Oregon. Peter DeFazio is a good guy. He's refused pay increases from Congress ever since he's been there. He keeps getting reelected. His constituents like him. But when it comes down to it, he has got an establishment elitist agenda that he must follow. He must follow the status quo. He will not break that bond that he has between himself and the people who are trying to ruin our constitutional rights and do not know how to professionally run America, with all these people having all these different rights granted to them. They think that it's outdated, it's old, and the time's up, the jig is up. What do these people need all these freedoms for? They need to have them freedoms taken away from them, and by golly, they're gonna daily wake up and take a notch, trying to take notch after notch after notch out of our constitutional rights and our freedom. So, and that's why people want to say like we don't have freedom, but you know what? That's the first right we were given, was the freedom of press, the freedom to say what we have to say. That doesn't mean that you have the right to secrecy. There was no Go look that up. You want to talk shit about George Washington and the Masons and act like they're Illuminati or some kind of a cult and they're a group. They can keep their private stuff to themselves. They don't need to tell the world what they're doing when they're practicing and stuff. But I tell you, there is nothing less than transparency. That means that you can see right through it and you're allowed to know exactly what's going on as far as the government goes. And you as a person, as a citizen of America, know exactly what's going on with your government. That is in the Constitution. The right to free speech is in the media, right? So they're allowed, basically, from there to say any old crap that they want to say to you instead of people looking up and double checking and being that having enough common sense to make sure what they are told is correct or not. People are gullible and they keep lopping it up, keep buying it, and they won't even hear what you have to say after a point in time, because they've heard it all. They've heard enough. They don't need to hear anymore. Boy, I tell you, it is the jig is up, and um, basically, I don't think that we need um, any more time with these guys showing their butts and ruining America. They're not running America, they're ruining it. But I'm not going to be worried about it if they go and vote for another Democrat because they can't keep voting for a Democrat, then vote for a Republican, and they finally got the right guy who's concerned with everybody's business. So he puts America right back on the right track, and then just to vote for another Democrat again for 4 to 8 years. So then they have some kind of way where they can say, "Oh well, look at the recession. The recession kicked in '09. Obama was only in there for a year, and he made the recession go away." And then he purposely pulls the throttle from the government's perspective on the economy himself, and all them bastards are purposely, trying to ruin our economy now. Before, it was 9/11 and the housing market bubble, and different bubbles in the market when people are getting too rich. Like, I know a big one. I know a big, huge one. Microsoft. Microsoft is a big financial bubble. The guy there has made billions of dollars and is filthy rich up there with all the other billionaires from ripping people off for little junk piece of plastic. He'd charge you hundreds of dollars for it, and it's just a piece of shit, piece of plastic, piece of shit, uh, toy looking thing, and that's it. So even more classic warfare. They're gonna let these guys get away with that. And they want to stop certain people from having monopolies in the market, but the government can do whatever the hell they want. Excuse me. Look what they did to the healthcare. They're running amok in a monopoly on everybody's healthcare right now. I want out of it. I just want to know how the hell am I going to get out of it? There's no way to get out of it. You're sucked right into it. Now I'm stuck and sucked into without even forced forced to. And that's even more classic warfare there. Like saying like people pushing religion or something. Now it's okay if you push because it's so important that you push that this big rip-off scam after another, one after another. And you just pulled it off with this healthcare thing, and there's no way that a person can get out of that. I'm either going to be fined or something, if I don't pay my government health insurance now, my government monopoly run health, overtaking government medical now, so it's not free. It's bullshit, is what it is. You know, you had people that were going to the ER. So this is even more classic warfare. So instead of telling the ER to just buck up and say, no, you're not going to allow people that don't have insurance to come into the ER and just tell everybody, look, we're not working on you. Make the law. Politicians and faggot crats, assholes that make laws and shit need to cut the fucking shit. And they need to go up there and tell people that if you don't have insurance or you don't have some way to pay this shit, you're going to go to jail for this fucking medical bill, or I'm refusing you service. Even if the person's gonna die, refuse them service. Serious. If it's gonna cause more debt and more adding towards America becoming bankrupt, we can all file bankruptcy out here as individuals. But who's our government gonna file bankruptcy to? Are they gonna go to a world court and they're gonna file in a world court and say, hey, we're bankrupt now. We don't know what to do with ourselves. We have completely irresponsible, um, reckless, unprofessional people running the country from the Democrat Party because they lie and they're allowed to tell you any old bullshit to get elected. And that's the truth. And don't say that I just, I'm talking all this crap just to try to get a Republican in there, because there's a list of Republicans that I wouldn't even vote for. I wouldn't even vote for them right now. Paul Ryan, I'm gonna make another video. I might just keep doing it because I figured, what's the point? You own basically, I'll own the bullshit that I'm saying in particular to make more videos and just keep saying the same fucking thing over and over again. But I don't want this establishment elitist rhino who's going to eventually just roll over and side with Obama. I don't know what demon possessed Paul Ryan or whatever, but I'm not for the refugees at all. I like to kick all of them in their ass, and I ask them and tell them to speak it in fucking English too and give me a fucking answer. I'll shock your fucking ass with the fucking cow prod. You give me the fucking answer. Um, what's your question? My question, I just want to know what the fuck they're doing here. What do they think caused their situation and why they're in a fucking America right now? Trying to bleed us dry. The Democrats figured out along the way that it's a lot harder than just to blow $100 trillion or whatever they're doing to try to bust the economy. They have to do a lot of lavish things and come up with, throw it in our face, be like, that's un-American. It's un-American to you can't put Americans first. You can't put Americans first. You have to put ourselves out on the line for all these other countries and places and people, and then maybe not even do anything good for them. Maybe not even do anything good for them. All in all, it was all for nothing. But it wasn't. It was for to destroy America and to fundamentally, radically change and transform it into something completely monstrous and government overtaken, and that's what it is. It's a power grab, and people are sitting there, yeah, 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 Obama, more power to him. I would rather give him complete power than to give power to somebody who wants us to have individual powers of our own. No, why would somebody ever want to give me individual sovereignty? Look, I don't know, because they're an idiot. I don't know what to say. Classic warfare in America. Obama and the Democrats stay committed to ruin the military and to ruin America. It's a fact.